like to add that out of my personal experience, for example, about the feeling of as a stranger in the community after the release, I left my wife and my two daughters when dozens of the Israeli soldiers cracked down to my house in 5th of June 1985. At that midnight, after midnight, they cracked down maybe 2 or 3 dozens of Israeli soldiers without ringing the bell, only climbing up the wall and cracked down, broken the doors with their weapons. We were about to sleep. So they wanted to drag me out of the house, but I insisted to. At that time, we were having 2 daughters, one 2 years old called Fida, and the other was 4 months only, called Haneen. Fida means sacrifice, and Haneen means nostalgia. So Fida, the elder daughter, was in the hands of her mother. I drew nearer, I kissed her. She didn't know anything at that time. I kissed her and insisted to go to the baby in the cradle inside the room in order to kiss her the farewell kiss. The soldiers refused. I insisted to get into the bedroom in order to kiss her, and they refused as well. So a dispute started to take place in the house, and the officer came from outside asking the soldiers, "What is happening? What's happening? Quickly!" They told him that he insists to get in the room in order to kiss his baby in the cradle. And in order to avoid any fuss that neighbors may wake up and cause problem to the soldiers, he said to the soldiers, "Let him kiss her quickly, quickly." So I drew near to the baby in the cradle and kissed her the farewell kiss. The baby in the cradle has a special smell, her smell, that I smelled in that moment accompanied me along the 15 years that I spent in the jail. And believe me, up till now, when I hug her, when I kiss her, I still smell the same smell. That's it. This is the feeling of a father that those released prisoners now, they are deprived of. How many prisoners are deprived to have their daughters, their family, their sons with them now? And the 5,000 who were still inside the Israeli jails, the 400 prisoners still in the Israeli jails who should have been released in 1994 after the conclusion of the agreement of Oslo between the Palestinian Authority and the Israeli government. all over the world, we know through history, through experience, that if any parties would like to put an end to the hostility and hostile works, hostile acts between them, between two arms, first item, ceasefire. Second item, exchange prisoners. So Israel should have released all Palestinian and Arab prisoners who have been in the Israeli jails after the signing and after celebrating the Oslo Accord in the lawn of the White House. And the Palestinian negotiators, the Palestinian leadership, should not have committed this sin of leaving those soldiers. This is the absurd situation that the soldiers who fought in the field, they were kept forgotten in the prison, while the commanders who gave them orders of fighting, they sat around the table and on the shore celebrating their negotiations with each other, the Israelis and the Palestinians. This is the Kafka situation. And I hope this lesson of the release of the 1,227 prisoners in the last exchange should be a very expressive lesson for both, for the Israelis to understand that through negotiations only with the Palestinians, they can conclude peaceful agreements. And with the Palestinians as well, that those soldiers who fought for the freedom, who fought for the coming of the Palestinian Authority into Gaza Strip and West Bank should not be forgotten. They should exert every possible means and pressure in order to let them release. And as well, it is a cry for the international community, for those all peace seekers and freedom believers all over the world, that those who fought for the freedom of their nation, they should be released. A mother from inside Israel, a Palestinian mother, spoke with me because her son is inside the jail and spent around 25 years now and still serving inside Israel. And the Israelis, they refused to release Palestinians from inside Israel. Right, they released 5 persons, but one of them, by names I know them, one of them is about 85 years old, and he was about to be released after 2 months, that called Sami Yunus. While 2 other of the same cell that he was, of the same group, still inside the jail. And Israel considered them as citizens of Israel, as perpetrators of Israel. And the Palestinian Authority has no right to ask for their release. Other persons who were released, a light sentence, and about to be released. When I heard the voice of that mother who spoke to me with a very frustrated voice, she was living, always she told me that I'm living on the hope of seeing Karim with me one day, of seeing him getting married while in my period of life. Just to see him released and celebrating his marriage, then I die. If I die, I don't care. So now, when Karim is not released, what will happen to the mother? I still dare not calling her back because I have no words. I cannot speak with her. Of course, I cannot meet her, otherwise I should have gone to her and sit with her. But I'm refused, of course, we are refused to get into inside Israel by the Israelis. So how many thousands of mothers who are still living this feeling of lost because they feel that if their sons are not released in such exchange, they do not rely upon the goodwill of the Israelis, that the Palestinian negotiator built on the goodwill of the Israelis to release them through Oslo Accord. I think it is time now for the international community to exert every possible influence and pressure through different channels, diplomatic, political, human rights organizations, Human Rights Council, Committee Against Torture, every possible means in order to inject some hope in the soul of those mothers, of those wives, of those children, of thousands, more than 5,000 Palestinian prisoners still in the Israeli jails, facing very, very disastrous situation. Jail is jail, and suffering is suffering, regardless who is suffering, and regardless who is victimized. And may I conclude with this. This is a message for the international community and for the Israeli people that nothing worse than a victimized to become victimizer. We felt this, we lived this, and we had this on our souls and bodies as prisoners who passed the experience imprisonment in the Israeli jail.